Welcome, guys, to a brand new episode of the Drunken Guardian Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, the Drunken Guardian, Danny Martinez, and I am glad to be back here recording again, finally, after a month-long hiatus. I was taking a break because of I was essentially taking on a lot, actually. I was going to two different schooling programs. I was in the middle of moving. Of course, the pandemic stuff is going on, so the whole job issue was an issue. But I'm picking stuff back up. Social media presence is coming back up as well. And I could not wait to jump back on this stuff again. So I'm here to bring you the news first of all, and then I am going to go on a special segment, specifically just me going on a rant about a particular topic, which you might have guessed what it is based off the title of the episode alone. So sit back and enjoy me bitching about the industry and how they're fucking up. Before that, here's the news. Enjoy. Hey guys, alright, today's first topic, we're actually going to talk about Oscar Isaac. For those of you who don't know, he is a Star Wars actor who plays Poe Dameron, which is one of his more famous roles right now, at the moment anyways. And he has been casted officially as Solid Snake from the Metal Gear Solid series, which is actually kind of exciting, and I see a lot of that. I see a lot of potential with that. Him as an actor, he's a good actor. I think he's got the look for it as well. He's possible to do it as long as he has a range for the type of the gruff character that Solid Snake is. Again, I worry anytime Hollywood tries to make a video game adaptation or movie adaptation, I should say, of a video game, because it usually doesn't fare well. I can think of, with one hand, a couple of games a couple of movies that were based off video games that were actually pretty good. Sonic comes to mind, Detective Pikachu, and Silent Hill. That's about it. We can go back and forth, I guess, about Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider-ish was kind of okay. Not so much the version with Alicia Vikander, which wasn't so great. And the less said about Monster Hunter, the better, which is also coming out soon. But this is good. I like this. This is kind of cool. Everyone, of course, who is a fan of Metal Gear always have the question of what's going to happen with David Hayter. And for those who don't know, is the original voice actor of Solid Snake. Very, very famous for that role. But he is a voice actor. I'm pretty sure I know he's done actually some actual personal films and stuff like that too. But he is known for the voice acting. The adaptation needs to be something else. So I completely understand them doing something with a well-known character like Oscar Isaac. That'll be a lot of fun to find out more about, and I look forward to it. So speaking of Monster Hunter, the Monster Hunter movie that is directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. If you're interested in knowing what my opinion about the movie is, you might want to check out a couple episodes back where we talked about this. But I'm going to leave that behind and talk about what the news is with the movie right now specifically, which is the movie has been pulled from Chinese theaters over an offensive joke. It took me quite a while for me to find out what this joke was, and I will read it based off the IGN article that I'm reading it from, which I think it's a ridiculous joke that they put in this movie that I think was unnecessary, and I'm pretty sure it does not progress the story whatsoever. It does not probably add to any character development whatsoever. So I have no idea why they would add something like this, knowing that the Chinese market is a huge market, and you have to avoid offending them in any way. For one, it's just the right thing to do, and number two, that's a huge market, especially for gaming and movies. Movies is a big thing down there. So, based off an IGN article here, one of the soldiers asks the other, "What are my knees?" and then follows up by saying, "Chinese." So apparently this is a long time racist playground chant. It goes Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees, look at these. So the playground rhyme is known to basically saying that it's anti-Asian American, racist because they have dirty knees because of the praying and everything like that, and them being on their knees and such like that. Also like the rice fields and crazy shit. So, anyways, yeah, ridiculous. They've suffered so much backlash over all of this that there may not even be coming back from it. Once they pulled it out, they've talked about re-editing, reshooting some things, changing it up, or just omitting the scene all in general. But the fact that the Chinese people have already seen the movie, or at least this clip for the very least, they're all about this and refuse to watch the movie. So they're kind of screwed with this kind of situation right now. So I will let you know if anything else develops about it, if it's still going to be released in China after all. I am really, really, really conflicted about whether I should watch this movie so I can report it and just tell you how bad it is, or be pleasantly surprised for some reason if it is actually ended up good. But most likely I'm not going to watch this. But we'll see what happens. But I will definitely keep you posted regardless on how it unfolds. Next up comes a game that I have actually played myself. I was streaming it about 2 months ago. I was streaming it for the month of October when I was trying to stream some scary games, and I could not find any that were either of interest to me or have not been done before. I tried to do some Amnesia, and then that's when I was in the process of moving. But don't be afraid. It was actually a lot of fun to stream. It was a lot of fun to play. I look forward to the full version, which is coming out on the 17th of December. So I will be playing that as well. We'll be streaming that. That is releasing soon. Check the game out. You can download the demo for free, of course, and try it out just to get a feel for the type of gameplay style that this is, and it also gives a pretty cool trailer of what to look forward to for the full game. Last but not least, on GameRant.com, I checked out an article that Sony started to talk about how long certain PS5 games would be console exclusives. There is this whole huge debate right now going on how long console exclusives are even lasting for either Microsoft or Sony. There's this back and forth, especially after as soon as Microsoft had taken over Bethesda. Basically, they bought them off, so those exclusive rights stuff are kind of iffy. Essentially, though, two games that they mentioned was Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. Those two games are coming from Bethesda Studio, and they're supposed to be PS5 exclusives. So those exclusives will last for 1 year. And after the 1 year, then Microsoft will be able to acquire those games as well for the Xbox Series X. So when it comes to games like Project Athia and Final Fantasy 15 as well, those are going to be held on to by Sony a little bit longer, I guess, because Square Enix has such a tight relationship with Sony, I would assume, or maybe it just involves the money and everything, that they're lasting a bit longer. They'll probably be exclusive for the next 2 years once they are released, and then afterwards it's up for grabs by some other companies as well. And the same thing going with Godfall. Godfall was a PS5 exclusive, and that window is going to end in May 12th of 2021. Godfall itself, I'm not hearing great things about at the moment, so hopefully they pick things up with some expansions and patches and such like that. And of course, I really do hope they do well. I'm seeing a lot of potential with Godfall, so hopefully they can pick up and make up some money as well when they eventually go back to when they go to Microsoft as well, and it gets in the hands of more players. So that is it for the news for today. Up next is my rant, so have fun with that. Take it as you will. I would love to hear your opinion about it. I'll talk more about it after my rant. CD Project Red is known for their Witcher series, which is also now a Netflix show, and an animated series is on the way as well. CD Projekt Red announced their Cyberpunk 2077 game back in 2012. I love The Witcher, so when I heard about the sci-fi game, I was excited that they're bringing such a huge explorable world to this type of setting, just like they did with The Witcher. Now, the game has been worked on for 8 years. 2 or 3 delays later, it finally released on December 10th. I have had this game reserved the entire time it was up for reservation. Now, before I get into the thoughts of the game, keep in mind that's 8 years of marketing, development, and information being fed to the media and fans about the game. They showed this freaking amazing footage of what a heavy-duty first-person RPG could be. So, imagine my surprise when they released the game for base Xbox and PS4, which I still have because I have yet to find myself a PS5 or a Series X. Thank you, bots. But the system could barely hold the game together, the ones that I have. There are glitches like any classic Bethesda game, of course. Bethesda, over the course of their game life cycles, when they release them, they fix these problems with patches every few weeks or every few months. I can look over the glitches that they may have missed because, over time they can also be fixed. Secondly, there are heavy amounts of game crashes. I can sometimes load up a game and it will crash the moment a simple dialogue pops up or an event happens, numerous times. So this leaves me with this freaking blue screen having to start over again and again and again. Something that I hope that they can fix within time as well. Thirdly, the textures of everything in the game cannot even hold it together. The game would pop up textures, objects, and characters as if I was using a PS1 to run the game. And that's not an exaggeration. They look like PS1 graphics. This in particular gets me more heated than anything else. Not because it's unplayable that way. There are a bunch of games with awful graphics that are amazing. I figured a game that advertised quality graphics should have been delivered. So it kind of pulls me away from the immersion because graphics were a part of the gameplay. This is CD Project Red's biggest fuck up. They failed to show the base system gameplay. This game was meant for PS4, PS4 Pro, Xbox One, and Xbox One X, aside from PC. This was not originally meant for new-gen consoles. Eventually, as many games do, they tend to move on to new-gen consoles while still developing for old gen. Understandable, they're trying to get the most bang for their buck. But they have completely neglected to show what the base system games would look like purposely. They issued an apology on the Cyberpunk Twitter page, which I find incredibly lacking. This is the quote directly from their Twitter page. Dear gamers, first of all, we would like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles before it premiered, and in consequence, not allowing you to make an informed decision about your purchase. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Second, we will fix bugs and crashes and improve the overall experience. The first round of updates has just been released and the next one is coming within the next 7 days. Expect more as we update frequently whenever new improvements are ready. After the holidays, we'll continue working. We'll release 2 large patches starting with patch number 1 in January. This will be followed up by patch number 2 in February. Together, these should fix the most prominent problems gamers are facing on last-gen consoles. We will be informing you about the content of each patch ahead of their release. They won't make the game on last-gen look like it's running on high-end PC specs or next-gen consoles, but it will be closer to that experience than it is now. Finally, we would always like everyone who buys our game to be satisfied with their purchase. We would appreciate it if you would give us a chance, but if you are not pleased with the game on your console and do not want to wait for updates, you can opt to refund your copy. For copies purchased digitally, please use the refund system of PSN or Xbox respectively. For boxed versions, please first try to get a refund at the store where you bought the game. Should this not be possible, please contact us at helpmerefund@cdprojectred.com and we would do our best to help you. Starting from today, you can contact us for a week up until December 21st, 2020. Humbly, Mark Nowinski, Adams, these guys' names. P.S. PC gamers will also be getting regular updates and fixes to improve the game. I feel they knew their marketing tactics and kept this under the rug because they knew the reaction to these problems, that after years of development, delays and crunch time, which they would have gone on record to say they don't agree with, they pull this shit. I wanted to have a whole discussion about the whole crunch time thing and have and talk about CD Project Red specifically, and all of this happens now. They now have made their profits back already once the game was released because of just the pre-orders. Plus their marketing budget was covered. And we get this half-ass apology saying they're going to fix it. All right, great. They're going to fix it. Of course they're going to fix it. But why did they lie to us? Omitting information is still just as shady as saying this game is playable and looks the same in every console. This is why their stock plummeted by almost 30% after this atrocious act was committed. There's an argument that many are saying online that I should have not expected this game to run properly with such advanced technology on old gen. Okay, so with that logic, it should not have come out for old gen then. It should have been moved to new gen. It's not even out officially for PS5 or Series X. Those versions are PS4 and One X versions playing on new gen consoles. It's not unheard of to move a game from a new gen console only. If they did for some reason want to keep it old gen as well, again, to make as much money as possible across all system owners, then advertise how the old gen would look compared to new gen and allow me to make an informed decision on what to purchase. They led me to believe it was fully playable and graphically advanced. This apology and argument is bullshit. And by the way, new gen consoles have their own problems as well. They may have been able to play it better, but it still is buggy and crashes. What the fuck has the game industry turned into when they have to lie to get people to buy their game now? They're gonna issue refunds after they made their money and say, hey, we released an unfinished game. Don't worry, we'll fix it little by little. So I'm gonna have the full game that was meant to be playable by February, essentially. The more we let this kind of behavior happen, just like it happened with No Man's Sky and Fallout 76, the more they think they can get away with it. Hopefully with new gen coming, we can slowly begin to change the industry for the better. But it can't be done if everybody continues to say, oh, you were stupid to think this, or hey, it's Bethesda or Blizzard or CD Project Red. It's okay, they'll fix it eventually. Accountability is slowly slipping away from these people in this industry. You as a consumer need to start ensuring it continues to be important. So with that, my plans are not to return my copy. I want to see how this game progresses and report it back. I do want to enjoy the game because I know there still is potential. I right now though refuse to play it through until I see some progress online. First patches came out as soon as this came out as of this recording, so I'm going to wait until the second patch comes in and continue from there. I know it'll be playable eventually. I just simply should have it just simply should have been from the start. All right, guys, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. I appreciate you guys listening to what I had to say about it, and I hope you guys agree about it. And if you guys don't, even the littlest bit, any particular part of it that I've said, I honestly, genuinely want to know your opinion about it and what you think. What part am I wrong about? What am I not understanding about it? Is it something about the industry that I don't understand, the game developers themselves, or as a consumer? It could be anything it could be wrong about. I'm always open for civil discussion about it. So with that being said, I'm announcing that the podcast itself is strictly going to be focused on gaming in particular, with a couple of special edition kind of bar episodes and such like that. But I think I'm gonna keep the bar and cocktail stuff strictly for Instagram. And of course, I will still leave links to my website so you guys can still get a hold of some cocktail recipes, some game reviews, some restaurants to go to, things like that. Check out my Instagram if you are interested in that stuff and interested in the industry, so that way you can still be informed about it, and I can still kind of help out with that as well. I still love the industry very much so, but I think gaming is where my heart is and what I really, really want to focus on the most. So I will be focused more on that. But with that being said as well, I do have a YouTube channel, so I will be posting up cocktail recipes and such on video in the future, very soon future. I'm already posting up some content on TikTok when it comes to some game trivia and some game knowledge, some gaming terms and things like that. Mostly not just to have some fun with the people who are viewing the show now, but also to teach people who don't know much about gaming as well, just the same as I was trying to teach a little bit about the industry of a bar and restaurant and cocktails and spirits and such. So I'm always up for teaching, I'm always up for learning myself, and I'm going to continue to do so on the social media outlets all around. I made myself a Facebook page as well, which is strictly pretty much just for streaming. So I'm going to be streaming my gaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube all at the same time, whether it be Destiny 2 or any new games, not Cyberpunk for, or at least a while anyways. By the time I probably decide to even stream Cyberpunk, it'll probably be obsolete by that point, but we'll see. We'll see how it ends up going. But thank you guys so much for listening and joining back with me for this show. It means a lot, and I will continue to bring up some more content episode wise now that I have a very, very clear schedule of how I'm going to be recording and uploading stuff. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you soon.